Good morning, students. In the last lecture, we studied about the non-verbal communication. Now, what is the meaning of non-verbal communication? The communication that is taking place without the use of words is known as non-verbal communication. There are lots of elements of non-verbal communication like kinesics, proxemics, paralinguistic, and the last one is chronemics. We have studied the kinesics in detail. The kinesics indicate how we are communicating with the help of body language, facial expressions, gestures, eye contact. So that is about the kinesics. The next topic is proxemics. It is a part of non-verbal communication. The next one is proxemics. Now, what is the meaning of proxemics? So it refers to the study of the physical space in the interpersonal relationships. While we are talking with someone, while we are communicating with someone, the amount of distance that we are keeping between the two persons, the distance between the two persons will indicate which type of communication is being carried. Okay, so it is basically divided in 4 different zones on the basis of the space that is kept between two persons while communicating. First one is intimate, second one is personal, third is social, and the fourth one is public. You can see in this a circle is drawn. As we go far, as shown in the circle, if the relation is intimate, if the communication is intimate, then the distance is less. As we move away from that, then the relation is also changing, the communication type is also changing. Like first of all, if the distance is around 18 inches, then that type of communication, the distance is 18 inches, then we can say the relation between the two persons, they are talking with each other, is intimate. Like family members, husband, wife, they fall under this category. Second one is personal. If the distance between the two persons while communicating is around 18 inches to 4 feet, then that type of communication is known to be personal communication. Like friends, colleagues, if you are talking with your friends, then that will be personal communication. While you are communicating socially, in social communication, the distance between the two persons that are communicating socially is around 4 to 12 feet. This is more professional than personal, and this type of communication basically occurs between the two employees of a company, between your HOD and you. So there should be some social distance between the two people. So on the basis of the distance, we can say which type of communication is going on. And the last one is public. Public in the sense, in this type of communication, the distance is around 12 feet to 40 feet. For example, any minister is giving speech, then he will maintain a distance with the other people, and he will stand around 20 to 40 feet away from the normal people. See, this is about the communication on the basis of which we can say which type of communication is being carried out. But nowadays the people have changed the meaning of the space. They think that if they are having more space, they are having more power. For example, if you are traveling in a 3-tier AC train, then there will be 3 berths in the same coach. If you are traveling in 2-tier AC, then there will be 2 berths. And if you are traveling in a 1-tier AC, then there will be only 1 berth. So on the basis of this, we can say, as we increase the space, the power also increases, and the person who think that they are powerful or rich, they need more space. They think that we are powerful, we need more space. For example, a celebrity. Let us take one example of celebrity. He or she will keep a safe distance from the normal public. So what does it indicate? If the space is more, then they think they are more powerful. But actually, on the basis of the distance, we can easily identify which type of communication is going on. Let's move further. The third one in the non-verbal communication is paralinguistic. Now, what is the meaning of paralinguistic? The paralinguistic refers to the study of the human voice and how words are spoken. See, voice is related with the verbal communication, but paralinguistic is related with the non-verbal communication. Sometimes the quality of our voice will reflect our personality, how we are using our words, how we are speaking. The quality of our voice will reflect our personality. If we are talking in a gentle manner, then it will show that a person is gentle. If your volume is different, the volume of each and every person while talking is different. See, if a doctor will speak, he will speak in a very soft manner. If a civil engineer will speak, or if any worker will speak, then the loudness will increase. Okay, so volume also indicates, it will reflect the communication. Speed of voice. See, this one is also important characteristic, because the way you are speaking, the speed of your voice also indicates the communication, the non-verbal communication. Like some people have a habit of talking very fast. They talk so much fast that the other person is not able to understand what he is trying to speak. Okay, so this should not happen. The speed should be moderate so that each and everyone can understand. If you will talk more fast, then it is also not proper. If you will talk more very slow, then also it's not proper, right? So you have to take care while you are talking. The speed of voice should be moderate. And the next one is intonation. Now, what is the meaning of intonation? Intonation means the rise and fall in the voice. Well, for example, if you are giving speech, right, on the basis of the rise and fall in voice, you can identify the personality or the nature. Okay, for example, if there is rise in voice, if you are talking with a rising voice, right, then we can say a person is excited. If a person is talking in a fallen voice, then it will show that the confidence is not there. Then once again, next one is tone of voice. While you are happy, the tone will change. While you are sad, the tone will change. So tone of voice also indicates the current scenario, right? Next one is pronunciation. How you are pronouncing your words, how you are pronunciating, that is also important. Articulation. Articulation means the clarity of the voice. If you are going somewhere, if you are not clear, if your voice is not clear, then it will indicate that you are not having any type of confidence. So these are some characteristics that will reflect your personality, that will reflect your confidence while speaking. So these all are very important. Then the last one is pause. Now, what is the meaning of pause? See, while you are explaining something, then between the two sentences there should be a little pause of 2 to 3 seconds, right? If you will speak without any pause, if you will speak continuously, then nobody will be able to understand. Okay, so there should be pause while speaking. So this is also important. Once again, let us revise all the things. Volume. What is the meaning of volume? Volume indicates loudness or softness of the voice. Speed of voice, the pace with which something is spoken. Intonation means rise and fall in voice. Tone of the voice, it is totally depending on the feelings. Pronunciation, how we are pronouncing the words, that is also important. Articulation, the voice should be clear. Pause, during speaking you should have 2 to 3 seconds pause between the two sentences. See, these all things will be important while you will be giving any presentation, while you will be delivering any type of lecture. These all things will be very much important at that time. You should know, if you are presenting something, then it should look more confident. Okay, and to gain confidence, these all things should be kept in mind, that our voice is under control, the speed of the voice is not much, we are taking pauses while speaking, our voice is clear, we are pronouncing the words in a proper manner. So these all things are important, and These type of factors are known as the paralinguistic factors. And the last one of the non-verbal communication, the last portion of the non-verbal communication is chronamics. Now, what is the meaning of chronamics? Chronamics is the study of how human beings are using the time, how human beings are using the time, how they are structuring the time. For example, people are spending time, some people are wasting time, some people are using time, some people are using minimum of time, some people are using maximum of time. If we take some example, if you are doing job in any company, right, and if you are arriving at time, what does it indicate? That you are very sincere. Your sincerity totally depends upon your time. If you are reaching the office in time, then you are considered to be sincere, and if you are not reaching it on time, then you are not sincere. So your sincerity, your one quality is sincerity, it's totally depends upon the time. Okay, one more example. If you are given some task, if your boss has given any task that you have to complete this task within 10 days, and if you are not completing the task within 10 days, then also it will show that you are not sincere. And if you are completing that task in 5 to 6 days, then it will reflect your personality, that you are giving importance to time. But nowadays some people are not following this. High status people like some doctors, some politicians, some government officials, they are not following the time. They are not giving value to the time. They often come late. They think that if they will late, then their importance will be increased. So this is not proper. Okay, and the last topic of this chapter is importance of intercultural communication. Now, first of all, let us understand what is the meaning of intercultural communication. Intercultural means between two cultures. If the communication is happening within an organization of individuals that are from different cultures, that is known as intercultural communication. See, nowadays most of the MNCs are having the individuals or the employees from different countries, right, from different cultures, from different religions. So this intercultural communication is of much importance nowadays. And what are the advantages of this? See, it is given. See, if we refer to the intercultural communication, the different cultures are having different rules and regulations. For example, if a person who is belonging to India will be having some different culture, he has been living in the culture from his childhood, right? For example, if any American person is there, then the culture of the American person is also different. But while dealing with the persons of different cultures, these things are most important. Which are that things? Let us study one by one. If we will follow the intercultural communication, if the intercultural communication is there between the employees of the company, then it will be important for these points. Out of this, the first one is maintaining positive attitude. If each and every person will be giving respect to the other culture's person, okay, then they can maintain a positive attitude. They will be satisfied with their work. Then with the help of this, we can also understand the diversity. We will be able to get the knowledge of different cultures of the world. So that is also important, understanding diversity. The third one is discourage racism and discrimination. See, this thing is a big problem nowadays. The people, for example, if you are working in any company in Mumbai, right? If there are two Gujaratis, then there will be a group of two Gujaratis. If there are two Marathis, then there will be group of two Marathis. Right? If there are some local people, then there will be group of that local peoples, and they continuously criticize each other. On the name of the racism, they continuously criticize each other. But if they follow intercultural communication, then this will discourage the racism. the racism will be removed from the culture of the company, right? Then again, next is job satisfaction. If you will be getting respect, if you feel that each and every person is giving respect to you, then there will be job satisfaction also. If all the persons are working in a team, okay, all the persons belonging to any corner of the world, they are working as a team, then are following the intercultural communication and they are working as a team, right? Then the productivity will also increase. Then formation of relationships, you can form relationship with different types of people. Then there will be lesser conflicts. Conflicts means quarrel or issues. If each and everyone will follow the intercultural communication, then the conflicts will be less. And so these are many advantages. There are more advantages, but we have listed some of the advantages of intercultural communication. So ultimately we can say, if the intercultural communication is followed in the companies, then the development and the productivity of the company is definitely going to increase. So this was about importance of intercultural communication. From the next lecture we will start the next chapter. Have a good day. Bye. Okay, on the basis of today's lecture, this is the quiz. You have to solve all the questions and you have to submit it as soon as possible.